Thank you.
Well, critics say this crisis is just going to get worse. You heard the Reverend's information. We've been told perhaps 60,000 more coming in the coming months. And that's because the border agents have been taken off patrol to bus, babysit, and feed the hundreds of unaccompanied illegal immigrant children. It's not their fault. They're trying to protect the border. They don't have enough people. They've actually have very few people to actually police the border now. And the head of the National Association of Former Border Patrol Officers now says there's no one to blame but the administration, saying in part, quote, "This is not a humanitarian crisis. It is a predictable, orchestrated, and contrived assault on the compassionate side of Americans by her political leaders that knowingly put minor illegal alien children at risk for purely political purposes." Joining me now, Sean Moran, a current Border Patrol agent and vice president of the National Border Patrol Council. Sean, thank you very much for being here. So this is it. Your group represents all of the all of the Border Patrol agents. And the question I have for you is whether you agree with that statement from the organization representing the former agents, that this is not a humanitarian crisis, it's a man-made crisis, and it was born out of a political worldview.
I do agree with that. This is a failure of policy. Right now we have an immigration system that is designed to fail. And our agents, the Border Patrol agents nationwide, they're stuck in the middle. They are doing the best they can with the resources they have. The Border Patrol is under siege in the Rio Grande Valley, and yet we have half our agents processing, and we don't know what is coming through.
These children come, and by law, you can't just turn them away and send them back. Not that it's easy to send them back to Central America versus Mexico anyway. But they have to go from you guys to ICE, then they wind up with HHS, Human Services, and then they either get returned to a family member who may already be in the U.S. illegally, or they wind up wards of the state. We already have 400,000 children in foster care. That was the recent numbers are 2012. Already have 400,000 children here already in America in foster care. Now we have tens of thousands coming across the border. How can we stop it?
Well, we can stop it by actually having some kind of consequence. The word is out in Central America that this is your golden ticket to the United States, that immigration is not being enforced and the rule of law is not existing. We need to close this loophole, or else it's going to continue. You have to have consequences, or else it's going to be exploited.
Sean, what about the photography? Because it's amazing how few pictures there are of what's happening along our southern border and what's happening at these facilities. And we were told that the Border Patrol told the agents, knock it off with the pictures or you'll be fired. Is that true?
I have heard that. I've seen memos stating that agents aren't allowed to have cell phones in the holding and detention facilities. We think the American public needs to see what is out there. We tried to tell people about this story months ago, and until Brandon Darby put up pictures on Breitbart, Texas, nobody really seemed interested in it. This is something that has been going on for over a year and is just getting worse. And the American public need to see what is going on. They need to see how hard our agents are working and how helpless they are to stop this and to make this situation better. The Border Patrol has a long history of trying to put a pretty face on its problems. We've had tours of VIPs where they fly over the border, and what they're looking at is empty Border Patrol vehicles. It's a sham, and we really need to have the manpower out there to deal with this crisis, and we just don't have that.
Instead, they're trying to find $1.5 billion to deal with these illegal immigrants as opposed to shoring up the border. How poorly protected is the border right now, given all the diversion of your resources?
Upwards of 40% of our people in the Rio Grande Valley right now are processing. So about maybe a little more than half are out in the field right now. And our information that we're receiving is that there are a lot of people that are not surrendering to the Border Patrol. They're still trying to evade us. And at a time when we're throwing billions of dollars to help the people that are coming to this country illegally, our agents are being restricted in the hours that they can work. A year ago, we asked for just a few $100 million to shore up our salary so that we had 100% staffing, and we couldn't get that. But now there's money, there's billions of dollars available to make sure that people are taken care of. And no Border Patrol agent wants to see children coming across the border and not taken care of. But when are we going to take border security seriously?
Wow. Sean, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Megan.
What an incredible situation. What an incredible situation. No wonder they don't want pictures. We are also getting word tonight of Americans being evacuated from the Middle East thanks to frightening terror tactics by a group that's led by a man who's called the true heir to Osama bin Laden. We'll show you what this means for America. Plus, as American soldier Bo Bergdahl arrives in the U.S. tonight, we've got our hands on some exclusive letters written while he was in captivity. Wait until you see who he is blaming for his decision to leave his post next.
The only thing that matters is you have an American flag on your shoulder, and he's my brother, he's my brother, he's my brother. We're all going to ride together, we're all going to die together. And he, I guess, for whatever reason, I don't know how he felt about us, but we would all die for him. And he left.
The Kelly File is brought to you by Humana. Let's close the gap between people and care.
There's a gap out there that's keeping you from the health care you deserve. At Humana,